Have you ever noticed how easy it is to see what's wrong with other people, but how hard it is to see our own flaws? It's a classic human trait, and there's a powerful story that illustrates this perfectly. Let me tell you about the sage and the stones. A long, long time ago, in a quiet corner of the world, there lived a wise and righteous sage named Dharmeshta. He built a humble hermitage near a village called Shivapuram, and there he dedicated his days to meditation and prayer. He was a man of peace, deeply connected to the world around him. One afternoon, as Dharmanishta sat peacefully under the shade of a large banyan tree, his meditation was suddenly broken. A woman came running towards his ashram, her face a mask of terror. She was breathless, and you could see the sheer exhaustion in her every step. Right behind her, an angry mob of men was in hot pursuit, their voices echoing with rage as they shouted and hurled stones in her direction. The woman stumbled and fell at the feet of the sage, crying from a mix of pain and fear. Just as Dharmanishta stood up to help her, the furious crowd surrounded them. Their shouts filled the air. "Hit her! Kill her! Don't let her escape!" The energy was charged with pure, unadulterated anger. It was a truly terrifying scene. The sage, however, remained calm amidst the chaos. He looked at the angry faces before him and raised a hand, commanding silence with a simple gesture. In a steady voice, he asked, "Why are you attacking this woman? What crime has she committed to deserve such wrath?" One man, his face red with fury, stepped forward and spat on the ground. "She's an immoral woman, a sinner," he yelled. "A disgrace to our entire community. She was caught in the act of sin. People like her deserve nothing but death." The crowd roared in agreement, their fists clenched, ready to continue their brutal punishment. Dharmanishta listened patiently, his gaze sweeping over each and every person in the crowd. When they finally fell silent, he spoke again, his voice gentle but firm. "So you say she has committed a great sin. I hear you. But before you proceed, tell me one thing." He paused, letting his words sink in. "Who among you has never, not once in your entire life, committed a sin?" The question hung in the air, heavy and uncomfortable. The sage continued, "Only those who have never sinned have the right to punish her. So, if there is anyone here, anyone at all, without a single fault, a single misstep, a single sin to their name, let that person pick up a stone and be the first to strike her." Silence. A profound, deafening silence fell over the crowd. The men, who were just moments ago filled with righteous fury, now looked at one another. The anger in their eyes began to flicker and fade, replaced by a dawning sense of introspection. They looked down at the stones in their hands, which suddenly felt heavy, not with the weight of granite, but with the weight of their own imperfections. One by one, hands opened. The stones slipped from their grasp, falling softly to the dusty ground with a series of quiet thuds. Their heads, once held high with self-righteous anger, now lowered in shame and a newfound understanding. Without another word, they bowed their heads to the sage, turned around, and began the long, quiet walk back to their village. The woman remained, tears streaming down her face. But these were no longer tears of fear. They were tears of overwhelming gratitude. She was saved not by a miracle, but by a simple, profound truth. The sage smiled kindly at her and said softly, "No one in this world is free from mistakes. We all falter. Yet people are so quick to point out the faults of others while conveniently forgetting their own." The moral of this story is as relevant today as it was centuries ago. Everyone makes mistakes. It's a fundamental part of being human. But before we rush to judge, criticize, or condemn others, we must first look within ourselves. We must have the courage to acknowledge and correct our own faults. As the wise Saint Vimana once said, man finds fault in others, not in himself. So the next time you feel the urge to cast a stone, whether it's a literal one or a metaphorical one through gossip or judgment, take a moment, remember the sage, and ask yourself that one crucial question. It might just change everything. Thank you so much for watching. If this story resonated with you, please give this video a like and share it with someone who might need to hear it. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories that make you think. See you in the next video.